Welcome back. I'm the Watch King. On this video, we're going to be talking about how pure gold is your jewelry. How much gold is actually in your jewelry. Not a lot of people talk about this, and I think it's very important. You should know this either before buying or after you buy. You should know how much gold is in actually your jewelry. So let's start all the way back. We're going to mostly talk about watches because this is a watch channel, but we'll bring in jewelry. The least pure, very old, back in the day, English were the best watchmakers. Switzerland was not. Switzerland was like a China, basically, making fake versions of the English watches. Hans Willdorf and Company, they were 1905 established in the United Kingdom in London. So they were producing watches. The Rolex, which turned into Rolex in 1908, made some 9-carat pieces. They're very rare, but you will find Rolexes with 9-carat gold. What is 9-carat gold? Well, 9-carat gold is 37.5% pure gold, right? So whatever the metal weighs, 37.5% of that is pure gold, right? And that's what 9-carat is. Here if you're living in the United States like I am, it is not considered gold. The U.S. government does not consider gold. It's too unpure. That's when we jump into 10-carat. So 10-carat is the first one here in the States that we recognize as gold. It is 41.7%. So we're still not at 50% of your piece is gold. To me, that's crazy, but we'll get to that later on. 41.7%. What is 10-carat used in? This is used in like Hamilton's, big companies like that, right? That were in the States making watches, typically women's watches you'll see because women were wearing watches a lot longer than men. But you will also find 10-carat with men's options. This is like the U.S. between 1920, let's say, and 1940s and 50s. That was mostly the 10-carat ring. You don't see it typically nowadays. It's only in really vintage watches. Before moving on to 14, the Freemason. If you're a Freemason, I believe they still do this to this day. Freemason rings are made in 10-carat gold. So if you're a Freemason, if you look on the inside of your ring, it will say 10K. It's stamped 10K, which is 41.7. Also, if you're a big sports fan, back in the day, they would not allow the Super Bowl rings to be over 10-carat. It was some weird law. So all the Super Bowl rings and stuff like that were also 10-carat. So just so you know, there is big jewelry, that was made in 10-carat. Moving on to 14. Now 14 is where I personally start buying for myself if I wanted. It's got the strength, right? We're going to talk about strength here as we get into the higher purities. So the lower purity gold you have, the stronger it is, right? Because you have copper and you have silver strengthening up that metal. When you get into 14 is like the Goldilocks zone, 14 and 18, because you have 58.5%, so you're over that 50% of the actual gold being gold, right? So now I personally consider it gold. And it's also got that a little over 40% of that silver and copper, making it super strong. So it's lengthy, it will last forever, and it can take some dings. 14 karat, what is 14 karat made? Well, this is when Switzerland started getting involved. Rolex, I mentioned Rolex because it's the biggest watch brand in the world by far. And Rolex had their two-tone options. They were mostly made with 14 karat here in the States, the bracelets and the bezels. Well, the bezels were made there, but the bracelets were made here. And you could see them actually stamped 14 karat. They were stamped 14 karat all the way through the late 70s and the 80s. So 14 karat has been very reliable, 58.5 as we said before. And it was made with a plethora of brands back in the day. Nowadays, it's used a lot less in high-end watches. You won't see it as much. I couldn't name one brand that still uses 14 karat in their high-end watches, but they were, and they are still, it is still considered a very nice purity. For rope chains, for Cuban chains, 14 karat is fantastic. Now going to my absolute favorite, 18 karat. This is industry standard of 2025, right? The watchmakers, we have every watchmaker imaginable, Vacheron, Rolex, Patek, AP, IWC, Panerai, everything. They all make it out of 18 karat. And I don't think any of them make it in lower or higher purity just because it's such a sweet spot. It's easy to calculate. 75% of the metal is pure gold. The 25% strengthens it. So 18 karat is fantastic for wedding rings, for everything. It's perfect for daily use. Yes, it is softer than 14. 14 will last longer, but it's higher purity, has a beautiful shine. A lot of people prefer 18 karat. And of course, it is industry standard. Cartier, for instance, all of their jewelry at Cartier, not just their watches, their jewelry has only been made in 18 karat in the existence of Cartier. So they don't use any other metal. That just shows you that the quality is there. Van Cleef & Apparel's, all these very high-end brands only use 18 karat. Jumping to our last one, well, there's 90%, which is coins. You'll see this in watches. For instance, a lot of the Rolex makes it, Vacheron makes it, Corum, those watches where they carve out the actual coin. Well, that part is actually 900, so 90%. 90% pure gold. That's jumping up a lot. And then 22 karat, you'll rarely see it in jewelry just because it's 91.6% pure. We're talking extremely soft. These are pieces you don't want to wear every day. And I just personally don't recommend to my clients buying higher purity than 18 for daily use or even special occasion use, right? You don't want your jewelry breaking. It's okay if you wear it once or twice a year. That's not a big deal. But I always tell people, buy jewelry to wear it and buy it to love it. So that's all, covers most of the purities. 24 karat, of course, is 100% pure. That's like 3 nines fine, 4 nines 5. That's what you'll find in coins, basically. It's too soft to wear. You will find it in very rare jewelry as they make it, but it's just, you don't see it. It's just very soft, and you typically don't want to wear it. So that covers all of the percentages. Let me know, have you owned, if you're in the UK, I know I have some UK viewers, do you have 9 karat? I'm wondering, how do you like your 9 karat? Does it treat you well? How long have you had it? All the way to, as anybody has 22 karat, I would love to know. So any of those purities, what is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments and reach out. We have some amazing watches in the website. It is all in the links below. So I want to thank you and have a great day. I will catch you in the next one.